We're going to start our adventure in the same place millions of us have started over the last 25 years.
NewBarkTown.
Welcome to NewBarkTown, where our Johto adventure begins. First, we have Chikorita in front of Professor Elm's lab. We can see the reddish door matching windows and the 3 vents above the second story windows. We also have this card as a Japanese promo, but I'm counting it as one since it is the same artwork. There are a handful of other stamped Japanese promos throughout Johto, so I won't verbalize it each time, but I will throw them up on the screen when they appear. Next, we have Professor Elm's lecture, with Elm holding Chikorita, almost like he knew that's who I was going to take in my first Heart Gold playthrough. Sorry, Cyndaquil and Totodile. His lab is again visible behind. We also have this Pokemon League stamped alternate art, where the 3 starters were replaced with Togepi, Pichu, and Munchlax, but the lab is again visible in the background. The main difference though is now we can see the windmill weather vane thingy. Next, we have a different iteration of Elm's lab for the professor's research artwork, this being the lab from Pokemon Gold and Silver. We can see the slanted green roof, the 2-pane windows, and the brown trim at the base of the lab. If we head inside Elm's lab, we have Professor Elm's training method, which doesn't appear to be much, but the big clues here are the overlapping papers on the wall, along with the hexagon-shaped windows that align with the inside of Elm's lab in Heart Gold. Back outside of the lab, we have our first PokemonPocket exclusive, Lyra. Lyra is the female playable character in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. There actually wasn't an option to play as a girl back in Gold and Silver, but you could in Pokemon Crystal, and her name was Chris, with a K. Anyways, here's Lyra getting ready to embark on her Johto adventure standing in front of Elm's Heart Gold lab. These next 3 Pokemon are probably the only surprises to most viewers, but we have some Pokemon chillin' just outside of NewBarkTown. First is Tentacruel, with Sachiko Adachi's unique art style showing the Newbark houses and weather vanes in the background. And yes, Tentacruel can be caught while surfing in the small patch of water on the east edge of Newbark, along with Route 27, which is the adjacent route to the east. We also have this Chinchou, which can be caught in Newbark and Route 27 while fishing. It's subtle, but we can see the Newbark-style house in the background. Finally, we have Luvdisc, which may be eye-opening since it's a Pokemon from the Hoenn region, but since Ruby and Sapphire along with Diamond and Pearl had been released between Gold and Silver and the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver, a handful of Gen 3 and 4 Pokemon make some cameos in the Johto region. Luvdisc in particular can be caught in Route 27, the adjacent route, which checks out with this artwork showing the weather vanes iconic with Newbark's homes as seen here on the left side. And that'll do it for Newbark.